Jove lived in the mountains of Olympus. He was the lord of the sky and the ruler of the gods. He wielded a lightning bolt and was black like the thunderclouds he made. Io was a beautiful young princess, the daughter of a powerful king of a wealthy kingdom. Alone at times, she wandered the meadows. Jove watched the young girl with affection and decided without further thought to descend to the mortal meadows. His confidence and pride in himself bursting, he felt only that he had to make a small gesture for her to follow him into the woods. Yet young Io was not subdued by his arrogance. Instead, she turned away from Jove without any word to him. Jove, self-assured that she would follow him, continued walking to the distant woods. Yet after turning around, he was surprised by the sight before his eyes. Io was still huddled away from him in fear. Coming to a stop at the edge of the woods, Jove let Io think. Because of his wife Juno's interest, he summoned the clouds to cover himself in Io. Meanwhile, in the land of the gods, Jove's wife Juno was looking for her Jove. Juno was the goddess of marriage, yet although she was dedicated to Jove, he was often not faithful to her. She had become constantly suspicious of his whereabouts. So when she saw the clouds in the night sky, she decided to go investigate. Meanwhile, back in the meadow, Jove perceives that Juno is coming and quickly turns to Io. Jove's lightning bolt appears in his hands and he lifts it quickly and strikes Io's body. Instantaneously, Io is transformed into a cow. Right after, Juno walks in, observing the scene, and points towards the cow questioningly. Juno continues by asking for the cow as a present. With reluctance, Jove gives it. Leading the cow along a river, Juno summons Argus to guard Io. Argus is the best guard for his 100 eyes. He sees in all directions and never sleeps. Meanwhile, Io, trapped in a cow's body, upon seeing a reflection, is shocked. To attract attention, she draws her name in the dirt. Juno and Argus part ways. Argus vows to keep the cow safe until morning. He leads the cow towards the forest as night falls. Meanwhile, in the mountains, Hermes has been summoned to Jove. Hermes is the god of thievery and commerce. More importantly, he is the messenger god who bridged the gap between humans and gods. Jove then speaks with Hermes about the plan. Walking toward Argus, Hermes strikes up a conversation about the pipes of reeds he carries and proceeds to tell the story. Pan is the satyr god of nature and music. Normally he watched over the nymphs in the mountains, but recently he had taken a liking to Syrinx. Syrinx was a beautiful nymph who lived in the mountains of Pan. Syrinx did not like Pan back, and when Pan tried to chase her, she ran away. When Pan neared her hiding spot by the river, Syrinx called out to her sisters for help and was transformed into reeds. Pan approached the reeds and decided to honor Syrinx by making a pipe of reeds. Now back in the forest, all of Argus's eyes had closed with sleep, leaving his body blank. Hermes picked up the sword and chopped off Argus's head. The only sound was Argus's head rolling to a stop. After finding Argus dead, Juno silently opens one of Argus's eyes and takes it off of his head. She summons the peacock and places the eye of Argus on the peacock. Meanwhile, back in the meadow, Jove sees a cow wandering. Realizing the cow is his lovely Io, he transforms her back into Io's human self.